I got an attitude of gratitude, attitude of gratitude, attitude of gratitude. I got an attitude of gratitude, attitude of gratitude, attitude of gratitude. Look, I'm grateful. Attitude, I'm grateful of gratitude. 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 I'm grateful. Some great dance, 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 some great dance. I'm grateful. Attitude, I'm grateful of gratitude. I'm grateful. Attitude, I'm grateful of gratitude. I'm grateful. Attitude, I'm grateful of gratitude. I'm grateful. I'm attitude. I'm grateful. I got an attitude of gratitude. Attitude of gratitude. Attitude of gratitude. I got an attitude of gratitude. Attitude of gratitude. Attitude of gratitude. Look. I'm grateful. Attitude, I'm grateful of gratitude. I'm grateful. Attitude, I'm grateful of gratitude. I'm grateful. Attitude, I'm grateful of gratitude. I'm grateful. Attitude, I'm grateful of gratitude.
Hey, how are y'all doing this rising? This is SolSista Therapy Childhood Trauma Podcast, and I am one of your co-hosts, Plum Queen. We've been having some technical difficulties, so my other sisters are not able to join me today, but you guys have to get this inspiration and this healing, so we're going to move forward, and they will be back with us on next Saturday Rising, okay? I appreciate you guys for your time and your energy, and, I wanted to start today's show off with a smile. I made my rising post, and because when you're talking about childhood traumas and things of that nature, it's very deep stuff. It's very triggering stuff. So I don't, saying we don't just want to beat up on you, and not give you no love, at the same time. So I wanted to start off today, on a bright note, and what we're going to do is we're going to be defining, and talking about the different types of childhood trauma. We last week we told you about our experiences individually, about why we, are talking about this and why, we want to bring this to the forefront. So now I did a couple of Google searches. This is something that I do often. Everything that you want to know and learn, is a click away, a book away, a research engine away. So nothing that we learn, you can find for yourself. So this is why I do real simple Google searches, when I'm bringing, outside information or statistics and whatnot. These things that, I'm finding is not, something out of an archive in a pyramid somewhere. You can 1,000% get this information on your own. So this is why I keep it really simple. Okay, so we're going to get right on into it. So I looked up the common types of childhood trauma. So we have abuse and neglect, family violence, community violence, school violence, life-threatening accidents and injuries, frightening or painful medical procedures, serious and untreated parental mental illness, loss of or separation from a parent or a loved one, natural or man-made disasters, war or terrorist attacks, forced displacement or refuge status, discrimination, and extreme poverty. Okay, so those are the common, types or reasons why, we have, trauma. And then I say childhood trauma. Now, to be quite honest, when you're talking about disasters and all of that stuff and talking about war and things of that nature, I think that goes along with just trauma, period. As a matter of fact, that goes along with PTSD. And that's something I've actually did a video on PTSD, in reference to the melanated community. So you can go on my YouTube and check that out, or you can check that out on Inspire Media Network in April. We are launching on Roku TV. Very excited about that. So you can definitely catch that there as well. But I personally feel that us as melanated people, we have been walking around with PTSD, for all of these years because, all of these things, a lot of us have a lot of those things, a compound of those things, and it's never been treated. So, like they were saying about war, a lot of our veterans, they come back, they do these 1 year, 2 year, 3 year, 4 year, however many years of tours going into war, and they come back mentally fucked up. Now that's just 2 years, 3 years, Ali, 5 years, and as well as you being an adult, of some sort. We're not even talking about you being 1, 2, and 3. You're talking about between 18 and up. So if war can have that type of effect on someone who's 18, and up, can you imagine, what a real small child and what they go through, dealing with those type of, chaoses at such a very young age while they're developing. We really don't look at it that way. And most of the time it's because we were those kids. We don't see, we feel like it's normal. That this is just the way life is and how life is supposed to go. And if, I survived it, that means you can survive it. And that's really not how that's supposed to be. All right. So they have something called ACEs. We go with where's the camera? There we go. The experts. All right. So there's 3 rounds. ACEs are adverse childhood and community experiences, and they can occur in the household, the community, or the environment and cause toxic stress. Left unaddressed, toxic stress from ACEs harms children and families, organizations, systems, and communities, and reduces the ability of individuals and entities to respond to stressful events with resiliency. Research has shown that there are many ways to reduce and heal from toxic stress and build healthy, caring communities. Okay, so the experts have broken it up, into 2 categories. They call it stresses. You have stresses that that you get from your household. You can get stress from the community around you, and you can also get it from the environment, things that that you cannot control. I'll give examples of those. Your household, of course, molestation, neglect, things of that nature. Dealing with your parents, drug abuse. Having to be around that. Okay, in your community, I can speak from experience, living in poverty, seeing a lot of violence, drugs, and things of that nature. So those are things that you're in your community, or I see something that says your job, like, yeah, going to your job and being abused on a daily basis, which a lot of you go through, and you can't do anything about it because you need that check. So that's almost like modern day slavery. So those are the type of stresses that you can get from the community. And then you have the environment. Well, COVID is a perfect example of that. Okay. This is, this virus that we have no control over. We have no idea what's going on. New shit keep popping up, all that other jazz. And everybody is scared. Everybody is stressed. Everybody is angry. And yeah, this is causing toxic stress. We're all dealing with that right now. Okay, the effects of adverse childhood experiences. People who live through, and they have 10 in this particular article, 10 ACEs of trauma will often struggle as adults. For instance, ACEs increases the odds of alcohol and drug abuse, which also increases the risk of smoking. Depression, leading a more sedentary lifestyle, which leads to obesity. Now, I'm going to look that word up, but I'm going to take that as, pretty much indulgence. Like when we're stressed, you want to eat chocolate, you want to eat this, you want to have, whatever, that gives you whatever that food is that gives you comfort. As a matter of fact, when you want to talk about this COVID situation, we're so comfortable with eating our McDonald's and, going out to eat and, all these things that make us feel good and that taste good, that we are willing to compromise our health. We're willing to play Russian roulette with our health just so we can continue to eat meat, so we can continue again to have the things that bring us comfort, because food, like sex, like drugs, brings us comfort. It gives us an opportunity to honestly put our issues on the back burner and act like they're not there. because now I have this level of comfort. And that's a big problem. We have to face these things head on instead of pacifying ourselves. All right. Also, employment difficulties, health issues such as diabetes, cancer, heart disease, stroke, being at a higher risk of contracting STDs and attempting suicide. Okay, now, as far as being a higher risk of contracting STDs, that's a little bit far out fetched, but what I will say is that it's all about being responsible. I think that's where they're coming from with that because we are very sexually irresponsible in this world. I'm not even going to say this country, I'm going to say in the world. And I was having this conversation with someone the other day on how it seems like we just have to have sex because it's the ultimate, you know what I'm saying, pleasure. And yeah, it's the ultimate thing to make you feel good, no matter how short or how long it is. It's the ultimate pleasure. So we are willing to risk our lives. I mean, AIDS has been out for years. Herpes still exists, but people are still having sex raw. COVID is out here, and people are still linking up. You ain't supposed to be 6 feet away and all this other jazz, but you knocking boots. So we are willing to truly risk our lives just to have that comfort. It's like our medicine. It's the pill that you take, you know what I'm saying, to ease your issues. Not to cure it, you know what I'm saying, but to learn to live with it. That's a problem. Okay. So why do ACEs cause of these problems? The reason lies not with the present, but with the unresolved stress, anxiety, and beliefs that you still carry from the past. And this is what every adult, you know what I'm saying, needs to look into. Stop shrugging stuff under the rug. The things that your parents told you, you need to get over. You need to start tapping into those things. You need to get into that, what they say, that inner child. We all got one, especially if you have childhood traumas. That little girl, that little boy still lives in here. Your body grew up, you know what I'm saying? Your mind, you know what I'm saying, in certain ways, grew up, but not your emotions. That little girl or that little boy still lives there. You know what I'm saying? And you have to tend to them. If you don't, they will stay there and it will wreak havoc on your adult life. And you won't know why. Because you think that was 20, 30, 40 years ago and don't understand how much, you know what I'm saying, that affects you, the choices you make, how you see people, how you see the world. We got to get into that. Okay. The term ACE was coined as part of a massive 17,000 participant study, which was conducted by the Center for Disease Control and Kaiser Permanente. I'm going to assume that's what that says. Researchers found that there are 10 ACEs of trauma that impact the vast majority of sufferers. People who have experienced more than one of these issues may struggle with what's called developmental trauma, or sometimes complex trauma. They are also at a higher risk for increased rates of both mental and physical illness. All right. I do agree with that. Just like anything else, you have a compound of issues that just makes it more issues. And as they say, developmental. If you're not right in the mind and the heart, you know what I'm saying? If you're not balanced, yes, that hinders your development. Again, it stops you from knowing how to love, how to deal with other people, how to be sociable. You know what I'm saying? How to be logical. You know what I'm saying? Instead of just always being emotional. You know what I'm saying? So those things that we need to develop as children, you know what I'm saying, that gets compromised when there's trauma involved that hasn't been checked. Because again, we live in this world, you know what I'm saying? There's good and bad. We're all supposed to, you know what I'm saying, understand that and learn that. So, I don't want you to think that the world is supposed to be roses and peaches all the time, because it's not. That's another misconception on why we have, these childhood issues, because we're taught No offense, guys. We're taught Santa Claus and the Easter Bunny and Cinderella. And you know what I'm saying? We're not taught what life is really about. You know what I'm saying? And as parents, I know y'all feel like, oh, I want my kid to be a kid. I want them to stay children. I don't want them to grow up too fast. And I understand that. No, they shouldn't be doing certain things, but they need to be privy to everything. And you just need to pick and choose. You know what I'm saying? You know your child. Everybody knows their children. You know what your children can handle. You know how intelligent or not they are. But you need to be the person to introduce these things to them so you can properly, you know what I'm saying, educate them on that. You know, sex is a big one. You know what I'm saying? I'm not telling you at 1 year old to have the birds and the bees conversation, you know what I'm saying, with your kid. But you know what I'm saying? We are living in a highly sexual society. So your child is probably going to see something sexual by the time they're 2 or 3 years old, whether you know it or not. You know what I'm saying? With the internet and YouTube, you give these kids these tablets and whatnot to, you know, shut them up or to keep them quiet or whatever. You don't know what they flicking. And then a lot of these cartoons and, you know, childhood programs, they have a lot of symbolism in it. They got a lot of sexual, you know, orientation in it, undertones and all that stuff. So your children are going to be introduced to sex whether you like it or not. So you need to be the person to be teaching them that. You need to be the person to introduce them to that so you can educate them on it instead of it being something for them to try, something for them to experience. You got to do. I'm not trying to knock, you know, parent. I know a lot of people get at me because I don't have kids and all that stuff, but I'm trying to tell you it starts with our babies. And you have to teach your children what's up. These schools are not going to do it. This TV going to teach them what they want to teach them and what they want them to know. You have to do that. You have to take full responsibility for that. School should not be teaching, should not be the first person or the first institution or entity to teach your children about sex. Just saying. All right. The impact of childhood trauma. We have brain development. Now I'm gonna keep it real. I don't know how true this stuff is. This is Child Trend's opinion. So I'm gonna go through these and see what from, you know what I'm saying, from a person who experiences inside, if that really makes sense. Because I'm looking at brain development, smaller brain size. Who knows that? Like, what study did you take? Whose brain? Who, you know? How many people's brains did you examine? And how come we never heard of this study? So I can't co-sign that. It says less efficient processing. I can see that. Impaired stress response. I can see that. And changes in gene expression. I don't know about that. I don't know about that because from what I think that is, we talking about generational cycles, things that are being, you know, transferred down. So I don't see how that changes anything outside of who you are or who you're supposed to become, because a lot of us are not truly who we are as adults. We think we are. We think we know who we are and this is me, but in fact that's just your defense mechanism. That is the armor, the shield that you put over yourself, that wall that you built so that you can protect yourself because you couldn't physically do that. So that would make sense to me. But the whole changing your brain and your genetics and all that, I can't co-sign none of that. Okay. Cognition, impaired readiness to learn, true. Difficulty problem solving, true. Language delays, I don't know about that. I've dealt with childhood trauma. I ain't never had no language delays. Okay. Problems with concentration, true. Poor academic achievement, that is possible. When from experience, when I was a child, I want to say elementary school, 6th grade. That's when I really started to have the full effects of, my mom's relationship, you know what I'm saying, in a negative light. So I I want to say, I don't want to say it was purposely, but it was subconsciously purposely. I'm going to make that up. You know what I'm saying? That I did that. I did worse in school. I wasn't concentrating, you know what I'm saying, on learning. I'm saying I was so much focused on these negative feelings that I'm having now because of this situation. So I couldn't focus in school. Now I'm an intelligent, woman, and I know how to persevere. So, I made it through all of my schooling on time without any issue. You know what I'm saying? But, it wasn't smooth sailing like I'll say the first from kindergarten to fifth grade. Kindergarten to fifth grade, where you know what I'm saying, was easy. I love to learn. I love going to school. You know what I'm saying? That was a positive experience for me. But then once, my mom got into her situation, that switched up a bit. So, that wasn't my safe haven anymore. That's not a place that it was a place that I enjoyed going to, but I really wasn't focused on what was going on there. I was focused on what was going on at home because eventually I have to get back there. That makes sense. All right, physical health, sleep disorders, eating disorders, poor immune system functioning, cardiovascular disease, and shorter lifespans. All right, again, they're doing a lot with your physical. Yes, your mind controls your whole body. So it definitely breeds disease. I will definitely say that. You can overcome anything if you have the right mindset. If you're taught to think a certain way, you know what I'm saying, while you're dealing with certain things can help the healing process. The Secret talks about this a lot. There was a woman on there who had cancer, and she literally got rid of her cancer through positive vibes. Her and her husband made sure she was stress free. She just watched comedies, and she just, he made sure he did everything. She didn't have to do nothing, for a certain amount of time. And when she went back, she didn't have to do any chemo or none of that crazy stuff. And she healed herself energetically. I know that might sound crazy to y'all. I know that may not be something that makes sense to you, but I promise you, a positive mind breeds a positive body. A positive body, you know what I'm saying, breeds health. It's a healthy environment. When you are happy, when you are content, when you are balanced, that puts your body in a healthy state. So now your body is in a position, you know what I'm saying, to function and fight off anything that's going on. You know what I'm saying? That's just like getting a brand new gun when you polish it and do whatever it is that you do with it. You know what I'm saying? All right. Your emotions, the biggie. Difficulty controlling emotions, fact. Trouble recognizing emotions, fact. Limited coping skills, fact. Increased sensitivity to stress, fact. Shame and guilt, fact. Excessive worrying and hopelessness, fact. Feelings of helplessness and lack of self-efficiency, that's a fact. And I'm going to stay there because those emotions lead to relationships, leads to mental health, and leads to, behavior. Okay? Your emotions is the big thing because, like I said, that little child is still inside of you. So you are growing up with them inside you. They're not going anywhere. So this is why you're having these difficulties relating to folks. This is why you don't understand why. I know no matter how much you try, no matter how hard you try, no matter how much you try to think a different way, see, you could just never see it. You could just never grasp onto it. You know what I'm saying? Because again, you are still, it's almost like you got a paper cut. You can barely see that joint, but it hurt like a bitch. That's kind of what it's like. You really can't pinpoint until you start searching, you know what I'm saying, for it. That's what this is about. Then you see that light little piece of skin, you know what I'm saying, that's lifted up where you can see where the scratch is. And it's so painful, so small, but so painful. Okay? We got to delve, and this is why this is important. You can no longer brush this stuff aside and say that it doesn't matter. Because when you have children, we are now passing these things on. You don't understand that you're not teaching your kids how to deal with their issues. You cannot wait until they're adults. And then you're 50, 60, and 70 years old, and now you have the wisdom of life. And now you want to correct them. Can't happen that way. You gotta get them while they small. So that means that you got to get on it with yourself, ASAP Rocky, because these babies grow up real fast. 1 second they coming out your womb, the next minute you taking them off to college. So you literally have a short time frame for you to program your kids. Because you're programming them either way, by not doing certain things and by doing certain things. Either you're going to program them or other people will, or society will. Because children are sponges. They are here to learn. You are here to program them, to teach them what they need to know to survive in this world and to be, you know what I'm saying? Honestly, they can't be what you want them to be, but in hindsight, that's really what you're doing. You're teaching your children to be what you want them to be. You know what I'm saying? That's why you put them in that school. That's why you got them in that program. That's why you have them shadowing you at work, because you have a vision for your children. Now, when they get older, they can they're going to have their own vision, and it may coincide with what, you got going on. It may divert to something else. But the first 18 years of your child's life, you are programming them and leading them in a certain direction. This is why you teach them religion. Most people don't have babies and then tell their kids, oh, figure out religion on your own. You can pick whichever one you want. It's your choice. It's not how that works. Whatever your religion is, that's what you're going to teach your kids. So you're programming them. It's the same when you're not dealing with these childhood traumas, when you're putting them in situations that they're not emotionally ready for, and you don't address that. You're programming them. When you are in situations that you're not happy about or don't, truly need to be in, you're programming your children to do the same. So you have to be, honestly, the ultimate example. That's not a good or bad thing. You know what I'm saying? Well, good or bad, good or bad is subjective. But you have to set the example. So dealing with your issues and the things that, that came up in your life that your parents didn't check, you're going to have to now do that for your kids if you want them to be better. Because I'm going to say this, all our parents, we say this all the time. I want my child to be better than me. I want my child to have what I didn't have. You know what I'm saying? You want a better life for your kids. That's what you say. Well, to do that, you know what I'm saying, there are going to be some sacrifices that need to be made. There's going to be some things that you're going to have to teach them for that to happen. I always say we need to stop trying to give our kids what we didn't have, and we need to teach them what we weren't taught. That honestly breaks childhood, traumas and generational curses. All right. Unresolved trauma and your ACEs. The reason why the ACEs create too much havoc in lives is due to the unresolved trauma. Trauma changes who you are on the inside, and it shapes and sculpts the functioning of your nervous system. So when you live through these difficult experiences, they stick with you. They haunt you and make it difficult to ignore or push them away without causing mental and emotional damage. You do this because even though you are an adult, deep down inside, you still carry that child who's scared and scarred. When you have unresolved trauma, your nervous system operates as if you're still in danger. It doesn't want to let its guard down. This is how it tries to protect you. This can continue in the background unnoticed. Then when you see or hear something that reminds you of the time, those memories come back in form of flashbacks or anxiety. Exactly. Like I said, the inner child still chilling there. And I kind of like what they said about playing in the background. It's almost like on your computer. You're on your computer, you clicking on shit and whatnot, but then you forgot that you open up this program and open up that program. You completely forgot that you opened it. You're not using it, but that shit is still running in the back of your computer, taking up your gigabytes, taking up your RPMs, or whatever all of that stuff is. It's in the background taking up your space. So this is why when you want to upload this new program, you ain't got the space for it, and you don't understand why. Because you have these programs in the back of it that are just running day in and day out, collecting data, pushing out data, running up the battery. It's always on the go. Never sleeps. So what do? Once you find out the answer, you shut down that program. If you're really not using it, you delete it because you need space. So now you get to go in and see which one of these programs no longer serve me, is no longer useful in what I got going on, and you delete as such. Well, that is what you do with your childhood traumas. You identify them, pinpoint them, and delete as such. All right. So I had another little flyer situation to show you guys, but not really into statistics because I'm gonna start asking questions, you know what I'm saying, to the meme, like where you get these percentages from, who are the people that you're, doing these studies on, and where they're from, and what's their background, and all this jazz. So I don't really get into stats too tough, you know what I'm saying, because again, who stats? Who's conducting this? Who is in charge of calculating this? You know what I'm saying? So I go based off of what I know, what I see, what other people experience, what I've experienced, and then I add in y'all statistics, and I mix that all up in the pot and come up with my perspective on that. Because I'm gonna keep it real. Can't no doctor that is a spectator of childhood trauma can tell me what it is to live through childhood trauma, to know people who have lived through and watched them live through childhood trauma. It's not the same. No knocking, therapists and all that jazz, not to knock your work and what you do and all that other jazz, but your observation will never be, more accurate than my experience. I had to say that. All right. So we have defined childhood trauma, the different types, different categories those types go into. Okay. So I'm going to end this here. I feel a bit naked because my sisters are not here with me because I definitely wanted to have, their thoughts and see whatever research that they had. But we will be back here Saturday Rising, and you will have all of our beautiful faces, saying here and all of our opinions. So the ACEs, adverse childhood experiences. Look into that. What ACEs do you have? These are all Googleable searches. What are your ACEs? Do you have any? And if you do, pinpoint them. And then you can dive into that. You can now, pull back those layers, whichever way you choose. Okay, what works for me may not work for you, may not work for her, may not work for him. So I'm not here to dictate to you on how to deal with your childhood traumas or whatever issues that you have. I'm just telling you that it will be beneficial to your life, your children, your family, and your legacy to deal with them. I have ways, other people have ways. That's why this podcast, exists. So we can put out information and support for you to make the choice on your own. Right? So I love y'all. Appreciate y'all's time and y'all energy this rising. I know it's a Saturday, so hopefully you guys are going on out. It still hasn't hit really winter, at least where I am. Let me not speak about up north, but I live down south. So right now it isn't cold. So if you're going out to enjoy the day, please do that. Be safe. Okay, take care of yourself, your immune system, you know what I'm saying? And truly be smart. Okay. Now, in April 2002, That is 3 months from now. I am excited. That's also the month of my birthday. We are going to be launching Amspire Media Network. That is a streaming channel on Roku TV. Get excited. We gonna be on real TV out in this bitch. I'm excited. Okay, so make sure y'all look out for that. We are looking for content creators, anyone that's like me. If you are a singer, if you are a dancer, if you have a podcast, if you know what I'm saying, if you have a TV show or a skit show or things of that nature, if you have some type of artistic content that you would like to be streamed on TV, holla at me. You can DM me, you can inbox me. Let me give you that information right now. Yep, on Facebook, Amspire Media Houston, on IG, 9plump9, Queen9, TikTok at Spiritual Amputee, and on Anchor, I have this podcast on Amspiration TTV. You're going to hear everything, that we record there as well. If you're not the YouTube person or really do the visual thing, if you like to ride in your car in the horizon and listen to podcasts or music and things of that nature, we got you there on Anchor. Okay, so you don't got to miss none of this healing, none of this inspiration. Okay, so also you guys know that I am a brand ambassador for Tiffy's Corner. She has the best natural body care products on the planet. I love Tiffany and her family. They are definitely goals if you're going to have them. Everything that she uses in her products are from her garden, from her backyard. She makes them with her hands, and like she's just the dopest person in the world. You should absolutely go to her site. That is Tiffy's Corner, apothecarycenter.com. Make sure you drop my name, Plump Queen, at the checkout, and you'll always get some savings. Mostly 10% off, but depending on how she's feeling, she might be a little bit even more generous. You know what I'm saying? And get you some more savings, because I just got our half off sale. Y'all missed it. That's on y'all. She had the whole site for half off, and you guys know if you deal with natural products, that stuff ain't cheap. You got to pay for the good stuff. So whenever she has these sales, it will be in y'all's best interest to get up on that, you know what I'm saying? Because her products are amazing. Anything that you like about my face, my skin, anything like that, you owe it to her. Okay, all her. Okay, so what else do we have going on? Oh, if you are a business, don't care where you are, and you are looking for advertisement. All right, that is what TV is for. So make sure you contact us. You can absolutely have your business streamed on our channel. All right, definitely hit me up. I am trying. No, I'm not trying. I'm going to get that word out of my vocabulary. You're not trying, you're doing. Yes, note to self. So we are developing and creating an environment, you know what I'm saying, for melanated people to win, to express themselves, you know what I'm saying, to control our narrative, you know what I'm saying, and to spread positivity, love, excitement, entertainment, and all of those things, you know what I'm saying, with a bang. Okay, that's what we know we're here to do. Okay, so I'm very excited about this. 2022 is about to be effing amazing, and you guys are going to be here to watch. All right, so I love y'all. Enjoy your time. I appreciate your time and your energy, but enjoy your Saturday. And of course, we cannot wait until next Saturday when we have our new topic, and our sister Scorpio Sun and Queen Misha are going to be in the building. We missed them today, but they're going to be back on next Saturday. All right, so love y'all. Enjoy your day, and y'all be inspired. Peace.